Okay, in this video, we will talk about the Sankey diagram visualization in Splunk. Now, this is a custom visualization built by Splunk. If you see it over here, okay, I'll be giving this link from the Splunk base as well in my video description. So basically, you can download this particular app from the Splunk base, and you can use it just like you use some other visualizations in Splunk. Okay, now in terms of functionality, what is basically shows, it basically shows the relationship as well as flows. Okay, now if you read the description over here, okay, it's saying Sankey diagram shows the metric flows and the category relationships. That means, suppose, let's say for my website I have different pages, right? And from one page you are clicking on some link from a page and you are going to some other pages, right? So basically there is a source page and there is a destination page over there, right? And it may happen, I have in my website I have a lot of pages, right? And I want to track from users from which page to which page it is going most of the times. Okay, or let's say if we give another example over here, okay, let's say I am monitoring the number of flights between two airports, okay, worldwide. So I just wanted to know between which two airports there are most number of flights. Okay, so those kind of stuff, those kind of relationships you can easily show using Sankey diagram over here. Okay, now if you see it over here, the nodes are actually shown up. If I just make it big over here, okay, so the Sankey diagram nodes, with that means the two categories. Let's say this is my source and this is my destination, so this will be shown as a vertical bars over here, something like this one. Okay, now it depends on how many unique values are there for your categories, different categories for source and target. Okay, it will create those many number of bars over here. Okay, and the relationship between them is shown by this wavy curve over here. Okay, and the width of it is basically like, it depends on how strong that particular relationship is, right? Suppose if I say number of flights between two airports over here, if it is very huge, the width will be higher side. If it is if it is having smaller number of flights between two cities, then it will be having something like this one, like very smaller width of curve over here. Okay, so that is how Sankey diagram works. Now for today, what we'll do is we will try to see an example of an airports. Okay, so I actually downloaded some data between two airports or two different airports, that there are flights, right? So I just downloaded some data based on that, so we will try to see that one. Okay, but before that, let's just try to see how we can install Sankey diagram. So for that, you need to come to this link over here, or if you can just go to Splunk base. Okay, let me go over there. Okay, and search Sankey over here. Okay, if you see, this is our Sankey diagram, right? Okay, now based on your Splunk version, you should be checking this stuff first, the supported Splunk version over here. So currently I'm using Splunk 8. So based on your version, you should be seeing like which version is supported, and if it is you're using some outdated Splunk, then it may not work properly. Okay, and other stuff, like if you're facing some issues, there are question and answer sites, Splunk answer sites link as well over here. You can check it out whether the issue you are facing it's there already, somebody already discussed it over there or not. Okay, so those kind of stuff, and I think other stuff is fine. Now there are two ways you can download. Either you can download this package like this one. Okay, if you just download it, so agree to download, so it will basically give you a tar file over there, .tgz. I already downloaded it in my download folder, so that's why I'll not download it again. Okay, and there is another way. If you just go to your Splunk, okay, and click on this gearbox over here in manage apps, right? From here also you can browse for more apps. You can click on browse for more apps, and here you can, if you are online, you can search Sankey over here as well. Okay, so it will give you that link from that app from the Splunk base only. From here you can directly download and install that app. Okay, so if you see it over here, as I already installed it, downloaded it and installed it, that's why it is saying open the app. Otherwise it will give you a link something like this one, install. Okay, so this is one way, and I think the other way you already know. If I just go back to manage apps again, okay, and you can install from the file which I already downloaded it, right? You just click in over here, choose the file you downloaded just now, right? We have downloaded this one, right? So that visualization file you just downloaded and upload it. So this is the two ways we can install any Splunk apps, right? So this is also similar stuff over there. Okay, now let me show you the data I created today. Okay, so if I just go to our main index equals to main. Okay, so last 24 hours is fine. Now if I just go to our notepad plus plus, so this is the data. So it is having like airline ID, the source airport ID, okay, the destination airport ID, the code share, stops and other equipment stuff. Okay, so mainly we will be using the source airport and the destination airport today. Okay, so let me pull that one first. So if I just say table source airport and the destination airport, so if you see, like from I have lot of source airports, and from there whatever the flights are going to some other airport, it is having this particular data over here, right? So now we are planning to use a Sankey diagram to visualize this one, right? So for that we need to first know how to prepare the data for a Sankey diagram. Okay, so for that let me show you that one first. Okay, so we need basically 4 fields over here. Okay, so if we just open the Sankey diagram documentation, right, it will be far easier to understand as well. Even you will get this link here as well. Okay, we'll go to build, we'll click on this link, create a Sankey diagram query. Okay, now if you see it over here, for a Sankey diagram to work, we need basically 3 fields which are required. If you see the size field, the category field, the source category field basically, and the target category field. Okay, and there is a color field as well, which is optional over here. Now if you see the format of the data, it needs to be something like the first column needs to be the source, the second column needs to be the target, the third column needs to be the link size basically. Okay, and the fourth column is basically will be working for the link color over here. Okay, we'll see like how to use these 2 columns. Okay, basically to govern the link size and the link color over here. Okay, I'll give you an example as well. Now if I just go back to our query over here, so we basically have a source airport, we basically have a destination airport over here, right? So we need another 2 columns basically. For one of them is optional, that is for our link color. Okay, but at least we need another column which will basically tell you the link size, right? Now over here what I wanted to know, like how many flights are there between 2 airports, right? So what I'll do is I will just do a stats over here. Okay, stats count by this source airport and the destination airport, right? So if I just do this one, so it creates a count column over here, right, which is basically serve as our third column over here, right? So if I just match over here, we have, this is our source airport, this is our target airport, and we have a link size over here. That means using this count value, we can govern the link size over there. Okay, now for simplicity purpose, what we'll do is I'll just filter this data with count greater than 10 over here, because we are dealing with very huge number of records over here. Okay, I'll just say where count greater than 10. Okay, so we will be dealing with very less number of records, so that we can easily understand this data. Okay, so we have this source and destination airport where my number of flights are greater than 10 over here. Okay, so Now to visualize this one with Sankey, so we'll go to visualization tab, right? Now if you have Sankey diagram installed over here, it will be coming up something like this one in more, okay? Because these are the visualization by default comes with Splunk. So if you install any custom visualization, it will be coming under this one, okay? So you have to select the Sankey diagram over here. Now if you see it over here, it just rendered the data something like this one, okay? Now we have to understand how it is rendered the data, then we will try to see some stuff over here, okay? Now if you see, we have a airport called ATL, right? And if I just hover over here, there are two things is happening. It will show you in the tooltip, it will show you all the different sources and all different targets mapping, right? So each and every strip over here, if you see, is basically showing a single relationship, right? Over here is basically showing the relationship between DEN and the ATL airport, right? So how many flights are there? There are total 11 flights are there over there, right? So if I just see it over here, visualize it, so this is the maximum number of flights we have in our current data. It is 20, right? So that's why this particular curve width is very higher compared to this one, right? So now see this one, right? We have ATL and we have this four guys, right? DEN, MIA, SFO and ORD over here, right? At the left hand side over here, right? So if I just go back over here, so this is our ATL, this is the source airport, right? So from here we have flight till Denmark, this one Miami and ORD, right? Now it is not showing up this one. If you see it, like this is the thing we have to understand here. So this is the left hand side portion will be the source airport and the right hand portion will be the destination airport, right? So by this particular curve, it means we have a flight from ATL to DFW, okay? Not the other way around, not from DFW to ATL. That's why in the Sankey diagram documentation, you will see it said metric flow it shows, right? So that means it maintains the order over here. That means by this one, it is basically showing up the flights from DEN to ATL over here, okay? So there are 11 flights. Then the question arises, where this data is getting displayed over here, right? Currently it is not displaying at all, okay? So there are ways to do it. We will see that one now, okay? So for that we will go to format visualization. Now you will get 3 tabs over here: general, color and the links, okay? Now in the general tab, it just very 2 simple formats, like either you need to show labels. That means if you see it, this ATL, this BKK, this will be off if I just select no over here. So there will be no label showing up in the app, okay? But it is always better to show that one. Now show tooltip, currently it is displaying tooltip over here, right? So if I just select no, so there will be no tooltip shown up over here, okay? So this is the 2 simplistic things it is there for in the general tab. We'll come back to colors tab, okay? First we'll go to links tab over here, okay? Now if you see, there are 3 things over here. It's called self-referential links, backward links and the backward link style, okay? So if I just say backward links to show, if you see it over here, now it is showing basically some extra curves over here, right? And if I just say backward link style as dashed, okay, so I'm basically making it as a dashed curve over here, okay? So let's close the sound and realize what's went on over here, okay? Now if I just see any of this curve over here, if you see, now my source is ATL and the target is MIA over here. Now it is basically showing the other way around, from the destination to the source, right? So that means if I just go back to the statistical tab over here, okay, so it's not only showing up, see, if it is, the diagram is rendered in such a way, if it is finding a flight from a source to a destination, also from a destination to the source, okay, initially without this back reference, or what is the name, is the backwards link, okay? If currently by default it is hidden, so it will not show those links over here, okay? But if you turn it on, it will also show that from the destination to the source, what are the different flights are there as well. Okay, so this is an important feature of this app. Now maybe to visualize it more easily, if I just see it over here. Okay, if you see from JFK to MSY there are flights, as well as from MSY to JFK also there are flights over here. If you see, we can easily visualize it as well. Okay, so by default it do not create that circular one until unless you are mentioning that one. Okay, now there is another format over here which you should know, this one, which I cannot show you over here because this is airport data. Okay, now this is called self-referential links. That means it may happen generally when you monitor your website data, right, web page data basically, right, or it may be like, what do you say, some for some kind of airlines it may happen specifically for airlines which used for tourist purpose, where they'll just go from a source airport and come back to the same source airport again, because it just used for tourist purpose. Suppose it is taking you somewhere and showing you other stuff and it's coming back to the same source airport. With those kind of scenario, this self-referential link will be helpful, because in those cases it will show up a loop over here. Okay, I'll show you in the Sankey diagram app itself. There are a couple of examples. I will show you from there as well. Okay, so let us see that one. So when you install Sankey diagram, it will give you the app as well, and inside the app there is a lookup file they created. Okay, and this is similar kind of example where from one screen you are going to some other screen, and it will show up the number of traffics between these two, the counts and the average bytes used over here for different pages over here. Okay, now if you just go to the last example over here, let me show you if I just go to edit mode. Okay, and if I just go to format visualization over here, in the links I have enabled this self-referential link show and the backward link show as well. Backward link we already see that one. Okay, now if you see for self-referential one, okay, it will, let me cancel it. It will show something like this one. If you see, where my source and target is same over here, you can see it from the tooltip over here, right? That means we went back to the same page from the same page again. Okay, so this is how it will show up the self-referential link as well. Okay, so if you see, like, Sankey diagram is really helpful in those cases where you want to basically show the relationship between two different stuff, a source and a target. It cannot display some other way. The format of the data has to be same. That means it is actually expecting a single source and a single target, and it is showing up the relationship between them. Okay, now let us move on to the colors over here. Okay, so in format there is another tab called color over here. Okay, here either you can choose not to use color. In those cases every curve will be in same color. Okay, but it is always better to use color over here. Now the color you can use in two modes. Okay, one is the categorical mode, another is the sequential mode over here. Okay, if you choose categorical mode, for each and every curve it will try to use the separate colors over here. If you see it, what it does it over here as well. Okay, now even here, from here you can control the legend as well, whether to show legends or not. Okay, and category, here you can select the number of bins over here as well. Okay, now bins means like how it will divide the whole data set over here. Now if I just show sequential over here, it will make more sense now. Okay, so that this number of bins over here, if you see, when I choose sequential, it basically divides this count into 6 bins, because I have mentioned the number of bins 6 over here. Okay, so greater than equals to 0, then 0 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 12, 12 to 16, 16 to 20 over here. Okay, now the similar way, if it will work if you just reduce the number of bins over there. It will just try to create 5 bins over here. It purely depends on the count column over here. Okay, now here it comes into the picture, the 4th column, right? So if you let us see whether it is true or not. Okay, I never tried that one. Let me try that one now. Okay, so we understood how the sequential color mode works over here, right? So from minimum color and maximum color range, it will just pick up the intermediate colors over here based on the value of the field. Okay, now this one, as we do not have the fourth column over here, it has taken from the count field, from the size field only. Okay, now if we just give the fourth column, let us see how it works over here. Okay, so we just given the color as sequential, we'll just keep number of bins 6 only. Okay, now let's say I'll just evaluate. Okay, I'll go to my statistics tab over here. Okay, we'll be creating the fourth column over here, right? Let's say I'll be creating the fourth column called link underscore color over here. Okay, if let's say my count is greater than 15, okay, I'll just give some arbitrary number over here, then I'll say 1, otherwise it will say 0 over here. Okay, so that means it is for a higher number, 15 and above, I am just taking 1. You have to remember that this particular field will be a numeric in nature. Okay, it cannot be any other stuff, because I'll show you that one as well. Okay, why it has to be a numeric one. So I just created a new field called link color. Now I am expecting, now if I just go to the visualization tab, the Sankey diagram will be using this link color to produce the color, not the count, right? Previously we have seen like it was using the count to produce the color over there, right? So if I just go to visualization now, if you see, it's automatically taken the fourth column over here to produce the color over here, right? Now you can choose your own colors to display this one over here. Okay, and if I just mention, there are maximum 3 bins over here. Okay, so based on we are able to see like most of the stuff are 1 over here, right? Yeah, I think over here every link is showing as this color, because for me, if you see the bin it has created, like it is greater than equals to 0, that is 1 is also greater than equals to 0 over here, right? So that's why every link is showing up this one. So to produce a different colors, maybe we can do something like this one. If count is greater than 15, I'll just say my link color value will be count by 2. Okay, and this could be count by 3. It purely depends on your need, like how you want to produce these colors. Based on that, you need to create the data something like this one, this numeric data. Okay, and then you have to choose the proper bins over here, as I just did 3 bins over here, right? 3 bins over here. So that's why it has created the bins something like this one. Now at least somehow I am able to produce all these 3 colors over here. Okay, something like this one. So hopefully this video is helpful. So what we learned over here is, this is a very simplistic visualization but very effective one. Okay, and as you know, like when you create a visualization something like this one, right? So from a search query, you can easily save that one to a dashboard panel, right? So that we already seen that one, so I will not go through that one. So basically for your own dashboard, you can add this particular stuff as a panel over there as well. Okay, that's not a big deal over here. Okay, so we learned about how Sankey diagram works and what its different limitations and how it will be helpful. Now if I just go back over here in the introduction using the Sankey diagram, so there are certain use cases they have given, like in which cases you can use activity flows on a website, like purchasing trends over there, data and financial transfer as well, energy use as well. So in this kind of scenario where you will basically showing the relationship between two different categories, Splunk Sankey diagram will be very much helpful in those cases. Okay, now in future videos we will see some more visualizations from the Splunk base as well. Okay, see you in next video.